What is going on YouTube? Hayden here, and in today's episode, we are going to be looking at XRP, as well as Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, VONG, which is the Russell 1000, and the S&P 500, which appear to be heading up even higher today. Always crazy when the stock market continues to pump and pump and pump and pump. Now, we are going to be looking at XRP, which did just come off a pretty solid correction to the downside. We are below the moving average here, and I do think we're going to continue to play out a little bit further, come a little bit further down here, as I do believe you're going to see probably this somewhere along the lines, and then obviously at some point breakout. We don't know when that breakout will be, but we can kind of infer more than likely a time period that will occur. We're also going to be looking at these other cryptos. Lots of them are coming down from a high. Like, we are correcting here. XRP is correcting. Ethereum is also correcting here. Bitcoin correcting to the downside. Oops. You can see pulling down to here. We have, except for VONG in the stock market. But we do have a lot to go over in today's video, because I do believe once we fill this in, we are due for a correction to the upside here, or a breakout to the upside, as lots of these technical indicators that are forming on these major cryptocurrencies are bullish. In a sense, like, these are bullish technical indicators here. So I'm super excited. Hopefully you guys are super excited. Yesterday, we made a video basically saying this is what will happen, and predicting what's to come for XRP and a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, because it's fairly obvious. It's fairly obvious here that we're going to see us hit this bottom support and then rally up. As we've been doing, it's a pretty easy inference you can make, especially when you've been in crypto for several years and you've seen these patterns historically repeat, and you start to develop trends and you start to notice things. So with that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. So before we dive into the technical analysis, so that just reminded me, BYDFI, I did reach out to them like I was going to tell you, and they are doing an event period from October 5th, started 5 days ago, to October 31st for you guys to get some free cryptocurrency if you do deposit. It is a bonus, so you will receive it into your account. You can trade with that cryptocurrency, and any profits earned off that bonus crypto, you can withdraw completely free. So you can deposit, get the bonus, and then you can take what you deposited out and then just trade around with the bonus money only. And you can get up to $2,000 in bonus cryptocurrency. You can see here, 1,000 deposit gets you $200, and 200 times 10 is 2,000. So tons of leverage you can see, that, or essentially how much you could make by doing certain small deposits can lead, a little goes a long way, is essentially what I'm trying to say here. And you can see 5,000, 10,000, 20K gets you 2,000 bonus. You don't need this much, but if you want to, it's not hard to get it here. And essentially, like I said, with a little leverage goes a long way, and a 500 times 10x, which is very modest trading, is 5K in free bonus crypto. So definitely make sure to check that out down in the description below. We'll talk about BYDFI later on, but you can see 54 on the fear and greed index. We look okay. Bitcoin looks all right as well here. Lots of these cryptocurrencies, for the most part, especially over the past week, have just been consolidating right now. You can see, like, we've been cooling off, losing some steam, losing some pressure, and trading sideways, slowly starting to kind of come back down to a supportive area. If anything, this is an essential correction that is needed in order for us to continue to rally higher. As you guys can see, good news is these cryptocurrencies are forming big technical indicators on their daily charts, not the hourly, not the 4-hour, although that would be helpful if we wanted to do some swing trading, day trading. But long-term investing or long-term trading here, it's pretty obvious what can happen. As you can see, with this huge rally up, we have this massive flag pull, massive break to the upside here. And then we're starting to see some consolidation. We're starting to fill in this gap. We're forming either a bull flag or a bull flag or a pendant flag, not so much a descending triangle here. And these are typical continuation trends here. Bull flags and pennant flags, how we enter is usually how we exit. Because we entered this bullish, once this finishes, we're probably going to exit bullish as well, which in my opinion is good news if you ask me here. So I honestly would suspect that see some sort of breakout to the upside here fairly soon. As you guys can see, this pretty much closes November 8th. So we have essentially until then, like maybe the 9th too, where that's it. Then we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Bulls and bears are going to fight it out, and we'll see the result. Now, more than likely, it's not going to take till that it's not going to take that long. More than likely, we'll get that result much sooner, especially since we've been filling this gap in for quite a long time now here. We're more than likely going to come to completion fairly soon, and hopefully it leads us to a bullish break, because that's pretty much the continuation pattern here. And then if you want, we can infer how high XRP could see that break to. And if we grab how we entered and we put it to, let's say, the breakout here, we could easily hit $4.07. We could easily hit $4.10, 12 cents here. It all comes down to or pretty much when we break out, when and where we break out. Because obviously, if we break out down here, then that peak is going to be a little bit lower than if we broke out over here. But regardless, we're still going to see a substantial rally with lots of pressure. So the longer this takes, patience is a virtue. The bigger the boom to the upside will be, as we've done several times before. You can see back here, history repeating itself on XRP. We had this little bull flag, we had the consolidation pendant flag, and the rally was just as big, because we went from $2 to almost $3, if not $3.30. That is where we went to. So that was a massive bull run and breakout, and essentially the same exact thing is happening right now. So I'm super excited to be on the other end of this, and because we're in it early, we're more than likely going to make out pretty well on this run to the upside here. But moving forward from XRP, obviously we'll do these trades on BYDFI, the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use here on the channel. You can buy long, sell short, leverage trade, create stop losses, take profits. Pretty much every single thing you'd want on an exchange is offered on BYDFI, which is super cool. On top of that, like I said, they do have that trading bonus here. So if you make a first deposit, it's not even a trading bonus. It's just a deposit bonus. It doesn't get any easier than that. You don't need any skill to get some free cryptocurrency to practice trading on the exchange here. And you don't actually have to use your real crypto. You can withdraw that. You don't have to trade around with that. You can just separate and trade with bonus money, which is super cool as well. They even have a demo account, which I recommend everybody checking out. You start with 50K in demo money, practice trading your skills, get familiar with the exchange, and then you can obviously head on over to that live trading account. Now, moving forward from BYDFI and XRP, Solana is consolidating as well. All the cryptos, like we said in the intro, are coming down from a high. We are filling in the gap. This is no bearish rally. This is no downtrend. This is no correction here. This is just healthy consolidation. As we fill in the gaps here, build pressure, we should suspect or expect to see some sort of bullish rally, because I think we're very, very, very bullish in here. We are on a higher low, higher high, or higher low, higher high movement right now. We're coming down right now in Solana, building up some pressure, and I think we'll then take off to like 260, 264 fairly easily. XRP could easily see that $4.10 high. We have the descending broadening wedge here on Ethereum, which is typically bullish. We might see one more correction before we see that breakout, but essentially we look really, really, really good on Ethereum as well. Bitcoin looks great, hitting that peak though, starting to see some correction here, but I think we'll consolidate a bit more, and we'll continue to scale up higher here, or come down a moving average and then break out. But every single crypto, in my opinion, looks really, really, really good moving forward this year, this month. I think we'll have to like maybe the end of this year to really determine what's to come. I'm always noticing interesting trends come the start of a new year, and we'll show you that on VONG or the S&P 500 here. Essentially, we're moving up on VONG as well. But like if you look at the S&P 500 and we go to like the monthly charts here, no, let's do the weekly, make it a little bit easier here. You'll notice something very interesting, that like typically these drops or rallies start right around every like new year. So it's very odd, but that's something that I have noticed consistently. When to be buying, it's so freaking obvious. Like, let's go here. So this is right around, I mean, this was a little earlier. This is around, or right here. This drop was January. This was November into December, so into the new year. That it certainly could happen a little earlier, but it's always the end of the year. This happened right January into February, like just the start of the new year. January saw a massive correction. Well, guess what? January, again, started the correction here. Let's move to right here. One is this big drop. Up January into February, big drop. So you can see essentially the danger zone is between like October and February, where we start to see bigger possibilities. And I would even infer more so like, I'd say December to February is that hot zone where the markets could really set the tone. Maybe we'll get a lot more press releases. The Federal Reserve starts to drop some more news as to what we could expect to the rest of the year. And that pretty much sets the tone as what we're going to experience here. So we look really good now, but we are at a high, and more than likely this is the time to be taking out some profits right now, because probably by January, we're going to be dropping to the downside here. That's my inference. That's my guess. It's probably going to happen, but we'll see. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.